Shalom, my dear friends. Welcome to this 27th day of our Lenten Journey with the Saints. So, yesterday we were talking about the first part of the origin of human suffering, which is the fall of humanity. Today we're going to talk about the natural disasters. We see that the fall of humanity, we have no control about it, right? And also, natural disasters, we have no control over them. They just happen. Although there are some natural disasters that can give us a signal that scientists are able to predict that there's going to be hurricane, there's going to be thunder and lightning, there's going to be heavy rain, but things like earthquake, you can predict earthquake. So far, there is no app, there is no scientific or proof about predicting an earthquake. So those things we don't have a control over them, like too much snow, like winter storm or flood. So these are the things that comes and they happen without our knowledge, but we become victims of them, like pandemic, like illness, like something that happens and shakes the whole world that no one has control over them. And then we ask ourselves, what is probably the cause of this? And I remember the discourse of Jesus blaming those who were accusing some people who are victims of natural disaster as being sinners, right? Jesus asked them, do you think that those who were killed when they were constructing the temple were punished by God, or were their sins too deeper that God came to destroy them? The answer is probably no. And then we ask ourselves, why does bad things happen to good people? People would think they do not really deserve those punishment. They do not really deserve what they go through. But God created the world. God is in nature. And sometimes disasters also communicate like the wisdom or the mighty works of God. It is true that when it happens, everyone is either we're all infected or we're affected, right? Like we used to talk about the COVID-19 pandemic, that everyone is either infected by the virus or affected by the virus simply because someone you know is going through a lot, someone you know has maybe died or is suffering from that virus. But we see that when a natural disaster occurs, people have a rethink of their life, they have a rethink of God, and then they have a rethink of their belonging. And then you ask yourself, for example, when Katrina happened in New Orleans, like many years ago, we'll listen to people from the city of New Orleans in Louisiana here talking about their own experience with Katrina. It wasn't really something easy to go through, but by the help of the grace of God, they were able to go through that Katrina. And most of them have tried to see the handwork of God, right? How it shaped their life, how something negative can really give us hope, how we can learn how to trust God more in the natural disasters that cause human suffering in our life. So, my dear friends, they will always happen. We don't pray for them, but that is how nature is. Right from the beginning, they have been happening. Then we can see the deluge from the days of Noah until now. Flood happens, pandemic occurs, earthquakes, and so on. But the victims of this, we pray for them. But sometimes those things teach us a deep lesson about the meaning of life. Because life itself does not have a general meaning, but we can have a particular meaning of life. We'll go through some natural disasters around us. So today, my dear friends, let us always learn how to see the handwork of God in some of the things we do not have control over them, like natural disasters, which is also a major part of human suffering in the world today. So thank you for listening, and tomorrow we're going to talk about human wickedness. That one we have control over it. See you tomorrow. Blessings.